Marta Keen, I didn't see you walk off. Madam City Clerk, may you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Crancho,
Present.
Councilmember Camarena,
Present.
Councilmember Marroquin,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Elliott,
Present.
Mayor Carter.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Would you please join us? Councilmember Crankshaw, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
My pleasure. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Mayor Pro Tem, would you lead us in the invocation?
Sure, pray. Father, we thank you for your kindness towards us. We thank you for this great nation that we live in, the best nation in the world. And help us, we pray, not to take these things for granted, the security, the stability, the riches that we currently live in relatively compared to the rest of the world. And so we pray, Father, for help in dealing with the business of the city in a right way and moving things forward, Father, in a right way. So we ask you, Father, for your presence, your hand of blessing on this place, on this building, on this meeting. And in the Lord's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you both. City Attorney, do we have any reports out from closed session? Thank you. The City Council welcomes your input. At this time, members of the public may address the City Council of any matter not listed on the posted agenda. Pursuant to the Brown Act, no action will be taken or any issue brought forth under public comments. We ask that you please complete a speaker slip and submit it to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Although you are not required to identify yourself, this information on the speaker slip assists the mayor and the persons wishing to address the council are recognized and also assist the city clerk in preparing the city council meeting minutes. Unless the mayor extends your time, there is a 3-minute limit time for each. Sorry, it's kind of hard to turn the page. Each public presentation, any information provided on the speaker slip is voluntary and will be public records. The first speaker slip that we have is Serena Guerrero. Yes.
Good evening, council, members of the community. My name is Serena Guerra, and I am an artist, journalist, and founder of the Valley's first and only grassroots nonprofit newspaper, People's Press. What started as a response to unlivable wages and systemic issues I witnessed on the job while writing for the Desert Review, Ivy Press, and the Calexico Chronicle has since become something so real, I think it's hard for some people to grasp that, quite honestly, we are the future blueprint of decentralized media. After years of observation, research, and experience, I can confidently say that our approach to producing community-centered content stands apart from most in that we associate ourselves closely with concepts like citizen journalism and slow news. This model completely turns the old one on its head and offers that everyday person a chance to voice their concerns in long-form and archival narratives. The cultural impact of what we are doing here and what we have managed to achieve in just 1 year with almost no funding is historic. We have witnessed so many beautiful people from all walks of life feel confident enough to trust us with their precious memories and controversial opinions, because first and foremost, we identify as a publication for the people. That means we have staked our brand on the idea that reaching beyond the bipartisan is not only possible, but that it's 1,000 times more fruitful than what we already have out there. And no, we're not the first ones to dabble in this territory, but we are the freshest, and we've got the heart and vision to see this through to the highest timeline possible. We dream of a day where we can all have a seat at the table and the voices of the marginalized hold just as much weight as the corporate exec. When someone submits or donates a story to us, I personally ensure that every single one is treated with the utmost care and handled with a level of integrity and degree of consciousness unparalleled in mainstream media. Our strain of citizen journalism doesn't judge. When you submit a story with your raw opinions and emotions, myself or one of our team members steps in to edit grammar mistakes and elevate your natural voice. No gimmicks, we don't do clickbait, we don't fuck with AI. And yeah, as an artist, I know the power of a well-placed curse word. This is journalism like you've never seen it before. We take pride in each and every story we publish, and I'm not kidding when I say I think we will be in the running for a Pulitzer Prize one day. Our quality and artistry are undeniable, and that's why slow journalism is not an insult to us. We strive to be the best, not the first. Since our inception in October of last year, we have worked with people as young as 15 and as old as 75, told tales of redemption from homelessness, and revived memories of working in the fields during the Cesar Chavez movement. Whether it's a handwritten letter or an email, mistakes and all, our job is to polish you up and make you a published writer, something the average resident never dreams of. This is the kind of medicine our country needs right now, and with climbing unemployment, we stand to one day be one of the county's premier skilled labor employers, complete with job training services for new writers and appropriate pay for seasoned ones. The days of burnout, censorship, and wage theft are finally over. Please consider following us on social media, reading our stories, and donating to our cause at www.avoicethatsoundslikeyours.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next blue stiff is Justin Orsino.
Hello, Council. My name is Justin, and I work with Serena with People's Press. We do citizen journalism. People can submit their own stories. It's a way to bring people together and just start something new. And we just want to keep pushing the envelope. So we want to do a fundraiser called the Barrio Revival over in Brawley. We want to do a park that where they removed one of the water towers. It was going to be a farewell water tower event. But over time, we thought, just make the vision more about celebrating our neighborhoods, which was the main focus at the beginning. We didn't need the water tower there. So it's still a barrio revival. And we want to do something like an all-day festival-like thing sometime. We're thinking December, it might end up being February, but it's going to be all day at Hinojosa Park at Brawley. And we want everyone to be there. We want sponsors. We want signups to like sports, softball, soccer, pickleball, cornhole, horseshoes. You want to do like this whole like sports festival sort of thing. And not only that, there's going to be things like arts, music, and just like a celebration of culture and like live music. We want to show the lowriders. We want to do competitions, like sort of unique ones for teenagers, like weightlifting for guys, makeup for girls. Sort of gives you an idea of the sort of variety we want to put into this event and just make it a fun time for everyone. We want to bring in like the elderly, do this like fashion show with them and like a drum circle. So it's sort of everything happening at once in the park. And we want to use that as a sort of like, well, we've been doing this for like a year already. And, but this event has also been like something we've been trying to do at the same time. So we want to make this a fundraiser for People's Press. And at the same time, just bring everyone together. And at the end, there's going to be a tamale dinner, mariachi. That's what we want to do. And it just ends the evening like that in a very like close sort of way with people and family and friends. And it's going to be, free to enter, but to purchase tickets as part of the fundraiser. And we just want to, as Serena said, we're grassroots. We started this from nothing, and we just care a lot about Brawley and the Imperial Valley and just everywhere around here. And we think something good can come out of here and something we can come together and just make a better community, learn who our neighbors are, and just prosper in that way, because I feel like people are getting more separated and lost from each other, especially within our own families. And we just want to bring that back through grassroots efforts and through something I think we could do, something I think possible.
Mr. Orsino, your time is up.
Oh, thank you. I don't even know the time limit. I don't see it anywhere.
Oh,
Okay.
it was
Oh,
right
it's
Thank
over
you.
there.
Oh,
It was back.
okay. I don't know. Well, thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Thank
Madam
you.
Mayor, if I
Yes.
would just ask a question. Thank you guys for the flyer, but is this the only flyer that, did everybody get a flyer or is this the
Yes.
only one?
But everyone should have gotten a packet.
Okay.
Correct. And there's stories,
Very good. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Definitely will be reading this and looking through it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Now we have Peter Rodriguez.
Good evening, members of the council and audience. I'd like to thank Councilman Crenshaw for your speech at First Responders Park today, for your attendance and participation for individuals that deserve the honor. I have no idea why no one else was there, but at the same time, thank you for being there and your words of courage. I also seen something that's kind of disturbing for me as a citizen, where there are promotions and a lot of you are not there for these promotions. Recently, police officer was promoted to sergeant, and it was a bad look. You tell me you're not being supportive. You see, I'm supportive not only just the police department, which is obvious. I'm supportive of every city department that's out there because they're working. They're doing things. When I ride my bike, I see them working early in the morning. I do one in the late afternoon or sometimes even the weather's better. People are working. They're getting the job done, making their city safe and secure. And my last comment, and this is about accountability, fiscal accountability. And I'm just going to read numbers, and numbers do not lie. And this is the travel expenses for training that Councilwoman Cumberland went back in April 23rd, 25th. Total value was $1874 with cost of registration $650. And then, of course, you had a flight, which I don't have a problem with, and the hotel room and all that. And then the next trip, which he has one, and that's another trip with the registration 900, or the whole hotel 900, and you had your personal mileage, I have no problem with. But these are numbers I wish would come, like the ID, what the ID does, and the county, they put it out there so the public can review. It's called accountability. It doesn't mean people can not look it up. You can request it. I had to request mine. And last but not least, you recently passed a resolution on knowing 50. 50 is winning big. It's a waste of time and resources. And there should be no partisan politics on the council. You were elected as individuals or selected as individuals to represent the city of El Centro, not to represent Republican or Democratic parties. And what you did was a waste of time and resources for the city. We could have had a meeting for more valuable time and work being done for our city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, may I just correct an issue that stated by Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, if I could have your attention, thank you so much. Also, I'm very, the trips that you gave me, that you stated, I wasn't the only one. And I know that you've been in contact, and I really welcome the transparency, the accountability. I really do. But just so you know, and everyone knows, I know you've been asking about, what I drink when I'm on these trips.
I do not ask what you drink.
That's what
I just told you what's
Would
given
you
to
allow
you.
me to speak, sir?
Oh,
You
yeah.
were allowed to speak. I'm
No,
just
we'll be back.
responding just so forth to what you said. I do not drink. I do not drink alcoholic beverages, and nor do I spend items for souvenirs. I welcome that, what you're saying. I agree with you. I think that we should have everything out there, before you have to come to a PRA request. But I can assure you, sir, that everything that we do is accountable to you, the resident of El Centro, the employees of the city of El Centro, and to ourselves, because that's what I was put here for, to be able to be accountable. And also, as far as the 50, just so you know, as I stated before, my response was based on the California Citizens Redistricting Commission, which was voted in 2008, which currently is on the California State website, stating from the commission members themselves that they had no part of this. And so when we have individuals that vote on something, We want to make sure that those things are respected. And I said, as I stated before, we will have the ability to redo things, but as long as they just follow the right way. Thank
Nope.
you, sir.
You said your piece, and I'll say mine. My numbers came from the city clerk.
Mhm.
And the information I have are those and not itemized. I got no problem with it. As far as for 15, I stand by my word. There's no room for partisan politics
Madam
sitting
Mayor.
up here,
Madam
and that
Mayor,
is final.
it's public comment. A brief response by a council member is allowed, but it's not a discussion item.
Thank you. We will move right along. The next blue slip that we have is from Bill Callway.
Madam Mayor, he's for item number 6.
Oh, I did it. Oh, I'm sorry. I looked to the side over here and it's not there. It's down here.
We have another one here. We're taking it over.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Ms. Diana Garcia Reese.
Good evening. My name is Diana Garcia Ruiz. I am a resident of Heber, but I do a lot of business here in El Centro. We have a mobile food truck, and this is not in regards to your vending ordinance. We have a food truck, and we participate in a lot of your events and a lot of other city events. And what I have made friends with other vendors and stuff, that is what has prompted me to come to you. The first-time business license is required for anybody to sell here, whether it's trinkets or food or anything. And I'm not talking about us bigger sellers. I'm talking about what I call tiny business. It's not small business, tiny business. Okay, and for those, the necessary first-time business license is well over $200, and they cannot afford that. Not to sell these little trinkets or these homemade candles and stuff. And I have spoken before, it's been over 4 years ago that I have tried to talk to city council individual members. What about a daily license? Everybody has it. Imperial, Brawley, Hopeville, Pat, Westmoreland, they all have a daily license. That is very accessible. It varies from $8 to $20. These people can pay that. They cannot pay over $200. I think my first time license, I paid $283. That's a lot for these little businesses. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Maybe we can work with, it was wonderful working with Angel and Adriana and all these other people with this ordinance for the food vendors. And we spoke about that too. We actually raised that question, but their hands are tied until somebody brings it forth. So that's it. I just want you to be aware that these tiny businesses are hurting and they want to be there. And your city events are spectacular. I mean, the trunk or treat was beautiful. I was really impressed with that pirate ship.
Thank you.
So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank
Something to
you.
consider, a daily license.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Madam Mayor, we have another comment by Bill Caldwell.
Yes.
I need more than 3 minutes. You know me.
I know that's right.
Wow. The young lady that just spoke right now, I understand where she's coming from because my phone has been ringing off the hook. I've talked to Adriana and I know when I say we're, I mean the city of El Centro is working on something like that. I'm here to praise the city of El Centro. We have the 6th and main events coming.
Yes.
Gustavo, Adriana, Mr. Sawyer, everybody on the council was instrumental in making this thing happen that we've been asking for a while. Last time I think we had events downtown. Sierra Jaime was running them. That's probably
Wow.
before a lot of you were even here.
That was years ago.
It's been years.
Yes.
So we used to have Sierra Jaime on the payroll and she would do the events and make things happen. And we had a great event. I'm an Imperial boy and I love the Imperial vendors. I love the shows that they do. I love the events they do. The farmers markets are awesome, but we're better than that. And each one of you have heard me say that, and I believe it. I'm invested in a business downtown. And again, I get calls every day. Bill, I need a place to start my business. Bill, can you help me find a place to start my business? Bill, will you sell me or lease me your shop? I had that this week. And here's the scary thing about it. We have to make decisions on what's financially smart or go out of business and let somebody lease it from out of town and drive us out of our own community. And those are decisions we have to make as business owners. Way back when, I'll throw some names out here, Ruben Duran and Abdul Salem, when they were city managers, they were awesome city managers. They used to always say, when we do events, we do them for the people. We want things for our community. We need to allow our community to enjoy themselves in our community because we have a diverse community of Hispanics and Caucasians, et cetera, but we also have people who make this amount of money and people who make this amount of money, and they're hurting. And sometimes to come out and buy your child an ice cream cone or a snow cone or something and take them to an event that costs them nothing is more valuable than we can even imagine because we've all been blessed. God has taken care of me and a lot of people here, and we're blessed and we have lots of good things. So the young lady that says that these vendors can't afford to pay $200, I get that. It's expensive. And now these same little vendors are fighting against Amazon and, eBay, et cetera. So, and then with things coming in, the cost of their products are going up amazingly, and they're having a hard time making a profit. We bought in the products because we knew this was going to happen. So I think it should be said that, it should be a priority. I think we do need a daily. I know you're going to be talking about food trucks. Let's not be scared. You know what? I've heard from other city managers, oh, we can't do beer gardens downtown or, let people walk around and drink. Not that I'm a promoter of drinking, but Raleigh does it, Imperial does it, Oakville does it. Why are we scared?
Oh, well, your time is up.
I know, but I get more time. So I just wanted to say thank you for everything we're doing so far. The 6th and main event is going to be fantastic. We're lining up some entertainment. Gus has been great. And I thank you guys when I call, answering my calls
Thank you.
talking to me when I see you. Have a great
Thank you.
night. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Now we will move to our consent agenda. May I have a motion and a second to adopt consent items 1 through 5?
I will motion to approve items 1 through 5 under the consent agenda, please.
Thank you. Do I have a second? I have a second.
I'm sorry, who made the second?
Councilmember Camarena.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, we will move on to number 6. This is a public hearing for the purpose of establishing mobile vendor permit and facilitate use mobile vendor permit fees. This will be presented by Angel Hernandez.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council, members of the public that are joining us today. So the item before you is a resolution that would establish, set the fees for mobile vendor permits. If you remember, back in September 16th, there was a public hearing regarding the ordinance 2505, which is now allowing mobile vendor operations to be on public streets. And it also made changes, updates to existing regulations regarding vending on public sidewalks and in parks and city facilities. That ordinance also said that the city council would to establish the fees for the new permits that were included in that ordinance. So as part of people applying for permits, inspections, investigations regarding any kind of complaints that people might have regarding regarding people doing the process of vending in the public right away. That does consume staff time. So it's been the city's cost recovery strategy. So whenever there's a new permit that we kind of look at, like how much time it costs, like staff time, hours, and positions to set those fees at those amounts. So this is especially true whenever we have permits or fees that benefit specific persons as opposed to like the general public. So the two new permit fees that we're requesting that the city council consider is the mobile vendor permit. So that's the permit that would be required for all mobile vendors that are operating under Chapter 16 of the municipal code. That would be valid for 1 year, and also a facility use permit for mobile vendors. This is a separate permit that would be required if the mobile vendor chooses to operate in certain city parks and in city facilities. So this is inside, this is not like the sidewalk adjacent to a park, it's inside the park or inside the facility. So how these fees were calculated, we worked with Community Development Department, and we worked with the Park and Recreation Division to see, especially like estimates how much time would take certain staff members to review these applications, take in consideration, and we might need to call back the applicant, request more information, and we establish the fee, the cost in that second column. But just so we kind of encourage people to get permits, make it more easier for people to pay for it, we decided to round down these fees a little bit to $100. Another thing that we chose to do, just make it easier for the program to administer every year. We choose not to add a cost escalator to these fees. Usually many fees, for example, the planning and zoning fees for applications, they go up each year depending on inflation. So we choose to keep these a flat fee, so they won't change until the council decides to change them. That just make it easier for us to administer it and easier for the general public knows how much it is. So just talking about like, this isn't the only fee that would be paid for. We had some public comments regarding the business license fee. So the first time application fee for the business license is $185. And that's on top of a $46 annual renewal. So after someone gets issued a business license, they pay the $46 at least. And that's valid for 1 year, and is required for all businesses in the city. The new fee, and it's italicized, it's the mobile vendor permit, and that's one that we're proposing to be set at $100. So you see that text I put in underline. So if someone wanted to vend on the sidewalk or on the street, those would be the only city permits and license they would need. Now, for example, if someone wants to vend at a park, in addition to that, they would have to get the facility use permit. Sorry, the facility use mobile vendor permit for the Park Recreation Division, which is supposed to be $100. So not all vendors are going to be choosing to vend at public parks. I would think a majority of them would just pick those for would just be fall under those first two licenses and permits. Now, in case a vendor wants to operate on private park property, that requires a temporary use permit, and currently it's $219.37. So we had a notice published in the newspaper regarding the public hearing set for today, and that notice was published in October 24th in the Imperial Valley Press. With that, staff recommends that the City Council open the public hearing and allow input and after allowing input, they take the following action, which is to adopt the resolution before you. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I now open this up for a public hearing if there's anyone wishing to speak on this item. And we do have one blue slip, and that's Bill Caldwell for number 6. Yes, you have it for this one. Yeah, get 3 and 3, right?
So Abraham's really good at doing his stuff, and I know, my question is, how did we come up with the $100 fee? I mean, John's. And then so we start doing the things on 6th and Main, those vendors pay $100 for the year and they're done?
These the question about how the fee was established, we looked at the staff time, we looked at which positions, what personnel would be, how much to get paid, including overhead to review and maybe do an inspection or two. So mobile vendors who are part of like a public event, kind of like the 6 and Main events, they wouldn't require to have a mobile vendor permit. You might have someone, you might have a part of your house, you might invite someone to like cater, they would not require a mobile vendor permit. This is only people that are going to be vending on the public right of way or in parking lots, just to the general public that are not associated with like a special event like this. Okay.
So the 6 and Main, that's your question, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
will
they,
not-
they wouldn't require this
But wouldn't it be
permit.
better for them to do that? $100 a year considering, you're gonna do 6 events down there, 8 events, that's nothing, compared to if we're gonna require any fee at all for those folks. That's my question.
Did you say there's no fee for them?
No.
There's no fee?
No fee at all?
No, because they're covered under the special event permit that, or like.
How much
Oh,
is a
okay.
special event permit?
Free.
$0.
There's no charge.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
The idea is like, someone from the cities are reviewing how the operations will run, where they'd be placed, so there's no need to have them get another permit.
What about alcohol or out-of-town vendors, et cetera?
The mobile vendor ordinance does not allow people to sell alcohol like on the street. Or, yeah, and someone from out of town could get a mobile vendor permit and operate a food truck.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Cool.
Yes. Okay. You can fill it up afterwards, please. Thank you.
There is no charge, but there is a requirement of a business license, correct? For the special events. I just want to make that clear. Also, can we do get a map showing us where we cannot sell on your, but could we get a map where we can? Because the one where we cannot is very confusing. Some of us think we can sell on Broadway, some of us think we can sell on State, but if we could get a map of where we can sell, where it is permitted according to this new vendor rules.
Yes, we are having, so the mobile vendor permit, it's already the new updated new mobile vendor regulations. They don't go to effect for another couple weeks. But we do have a draft map. The idea is to have a map that you could go be on your phone and kind of see, whether you can vend there or not. And just to make it clear, yes, the goal is to have it just identify the areas that you can vend, and there might be like special requirements that we're going to include in that map. And the goal is to have like kind of like GIS map, like if you remove the Google Maps to use that. Yeah, and that should be ready by the time the mobile vendor ordinance is ready or in effect.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. This public hearing is now closed. I bring it back to the city council. If any council has comments.
Mayor, yeah, I have one, Mayor.
Yes.
I wanted a clarification on there was a slide of example facility use, and there was a lot of charges there, and I know the business license was one. Could I get a clarification, please, on
Yes.
each one? I don't think it was that one. Oh, yeah, it was.
Is that one?
Could you
Was
go?
the business license?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, it
go-
was a business right there.
Right there. So if somebody, just because I don't know, so I'd just like a brief explanation. So if we have a vendor that comes into town, let's say they work primarily in Brawley or something. So what would they need to start? What would the fees be in order for them to start up?
It depends
Just
where they
start.
want to go. So if they want to park their truck on the parking lane on the street where that's allowed, they would have to have a city business license. So in case, sometimes they already do, but if it's the first time that they're going to be conducting business in the city, it would be a $185 application fee plus the annual renewal fee, which is $46. After they apply every year, they'll be charged a $46 annual renewal fee. And that is in addition to the mobile vendor permit, which is proposed to be $100.
So like if there were, is this because, I guess my question is when we have somebody who's brick and mortar, do they Is there another fee they pay in addition, like the mobile vendor? They get a city business license?
Yes.
And then is there any other license they get?
From the city, no. Usually when someone opens up a restaurant, they might, some building permits involved. There might be, in case there might be some development impact fees, capacity fees that are charged too, but that really depends on if that's a new restaurant or not. But they, for sure, they would have to pay the business license.
So, but so the mobile vendor is paying an additional $100 in addition to the business fee license?
Yes.
Because
there's be staff time for the city to review the proposal. We would need to make sure that they have their health permit with the health department. We need to make sure where they plan on setting it up. There might be periodic kind of inspections just to see like, hey, they might go to a site just let them know you need to move your truck like 15 feet back from the corner. We anticipate there's gonna be a lot more compliance issues related to that.
and some of those things you mentioned happen already with people getting city business license, right? Because do they not have to get the same thing? I guess what I'm trying to say is, are we making them pay extra just because they're mobile? Because some of a restaurant still has to go through inspection, gets permits. I would assume the same way these do.
As far as, in my opinion, it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. Someone has like a building, you know, they spend a lot of, they would likely have to get building permits. They might have to pay additional capacity fees. It depends on what the previous use of the building is. It's really hard to compare.
And the mobile part is what?
A mobile.
How is it apples and oranges to that?
Sure. So, well, now you have a food truck and you can go different locations around the city. You know, one location might be fine. The location may not be fine. That might involve a staff kind of being in contact with them, letting them know that they're in violation of some like setback requirement from the corner, for instance. There's also staff who need to actually review. This is a new application and they would need to apply for. So staff would be reviewing the details in there too. Make sure it's consistent with the ordinance that was approved.
Okay, and the facility use permit, that's, we're charging them to be in the parks?
Yes.
Is that for upkeep purposes? Are they actually in the park or parking lot? What defines park?
So maybe the staff and park recreation talk about it, but they'll be looking at first where they want to set up. Is it the right location? Is it conducive to mobile vending? If it's not going to, is it going to obstruct some type of path or anything like that? Yeah.
Inside the park?
Inside the parks.
Oh, okay. And the temporary use permit is only on private property. Could you just tell me what would?
So,
be defined
for
as
instance, there's a gentleman sells tacos at that. I'm on the stereo. Also, that store across the street from Fire Station 3.
Oh, Tractor Supply?
Tractor Supply store.
Yeah.
So those individuals are required to receive a temporary use permit. We make sure first is that they have the permission from the property owner. A lot of times people might just set up without asking for permission. And we make sure that if they be setting a parking lot, they're going to be setting up in some place that might cause some type of public safety issue, like not on the driveway or too close to like the driveway entrances. Yes.
Okay, so someone who does that, they pay the $219, the $100, and the $185.
Yeah, if it's the first time they're applying for one, yes. That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, thank you. Anybody? Yes.
Angel, before you sit down, so the events, try to differentiate between the events that are free for the vendors. Tell us about what kind of events, how would you describe those events?
So
Or do they have to be city sponsored or chamber, or does it, I mean, tell me about the events.
So there's city events like the 6 in Main
Yes.
events, the Trunk or Treat, or whenever there's like event at Town Square, the upcoming tree lighting ceremony. Those are all managed by the Parks and Recreation Division. And since they're the people that have vending under that in those events, they're vending under the auspices of those. So we know for sure that someone from the city is reviewing that to make sure that they're vending in compliance with their own requirements. They're not vending in a way that's going to impact public health or safety. they make sure that they have their health department license too.
Right, so someone's gonna sell food, they have to have a health permit, but then the event is free, Adriana, so
Yes.
So
Just
who
one-
can join those, what vendors can join those events? Next question.
Any vendor can
Okay.
join the event and they get a 1-day permit through the health department, and that's
Thank
known
you.
as a
Yes.
TFF.
Yes,
So those vendors are not affected by anything really
Thank
that
you.
Angel's discussing, unless they want to do vending on the public right away, Monday through Friday, or they want to vend at a park. So other than that, when we do our standard events, that none of that is going to change due to the ordinance that was approved or these fees.
okay, thank you.
And we don't offer daily license, correct? Is that,
No, we haven't, but I know that finance has been working on it, and we're confident it's going to get.
do we know how far out we are on that?
I'm sorry?
Do we know how far out
Oh,
we
I
are? Yes.
can, I'll let, you know.
All right,
speak on
Ms.
that. That's
Liz.
her area. I do want to give her a huge shout out for the single audit report. You know, that's a big win for us, and I know that was a huge priority, so.
Yes, thank you, Liz. We
This is the next
appreciate
slide.
that. Yes.
So we already gathered all the information. We are comparing the city of Brawley, the city of Imperial, the city of Calexico, what they offer. And we already have a recommendation from finance. I need to meet with Adriana. And after that, we're just gonna go forward, present it to you. And we just need to go through the process with legal and all that. But we already have a recommendation. I just need to meet with Adriana
Thank
and
you.
Angel.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm for it.
Any other questions, council?
Just
No,
one
it's
more.
not.
So Adriana, where do you advertise your events? If someone like might want to know what the event's taking place and how can I come and be a vendor?
So for us, they can contact the Parks and Recreation Office, which is 760-337-4555. Most of our vendors know Lisa. She's the front desk person. I know that Diana there many times, so most of our vendors know her. But aside from that, we do post it on all our social media. If you want to be a vendor, there is a different cutoff for vendors that are serving food. It's 2 to 3 weeks in advance, and that's because we need to give the health department enough time to issue those permits. They review every single application with a fine-tooth comb, and then we go back and forth with the vendor, sometimes multiple times, regarding hand washing stations, whether nets are going to be required. We have, not we, but the county health department has stringent requirements that we, as the event organizer, have to adhere to. Otherwise, the vendor does not sell the day of. And so that's something we work with on, like, again, social media. And many of the vendors, they're really well aware of our special events calendar that we've been issuing every single fiscal year. Since we've stayed really consistent, it helps the vendors plan ahead because there's different events throughout our county. And so they choose based on turnout, where they're at, and strategy, because they're a business like everybody else. And we all compete essentially for the same pool of vendors, which I think is a good thing. You know, it keeps our events lively and it keeps our vendors, you know, happy. So
Yes,
that's it.
thank you very much.
Appreciate that. Okay, council, may I have a first and a second to adopt resolution number 25 through 74?
Yes, I move that we adopt the resolution.
I will second.
Thank you. That's the life of technology. Sometimes we just have to wait.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we will move on to our new business, the ordinance prohibiting the operation of electric bicycles in city-owned parks. This will be presented by Miss Adriana.
Hello, Honorable Mayor and Council. This is an item that was brought to my attention a while back when we were finalizing Buena Vista Park. You may recall that Buena Vista Park has a large pathway, and it also has a slope that, because it is a retention basin, there's green space on the bottom, and so there's a slope where the park amenities are at. And so we were noticing, even before we opened the park, that there was tire marks in the greenscape. We
Oh,
also noticed it a lot at Buckland Park. The hills are very attractive for people. E-bikes tend to have larger tires, and so
Mhm.
when the grass is saturated, we see that the trail marks along the entire pathway. The other thing is our park users mentioned that sometimes they're going at very rapid speeds. They move over. Sometimes people are wearing headphones. And so that was one of the reasons why we brought this item before you. And I don't know if I mentioned, but the higher speed is also particularly different than standard bikes, where these can pick up speed very quickly. And so again, the purpose of this ordinance is to protect the safety and enjoyment of all park users. That is always our number one priority. This measure is also intended to reduce conflicts between pedestrians and high-speed bicycle traffic while preserving the natural character of city park spaces. When you go to a city park, we want you to be tranquil. We don't want you to be worried about, getting hit by a bike or anybody. And so it is meant to be more passive. So if approved, this ordinance will grant city staff and law enforcement officers the authority to enforce the prohibition of e-bikes, and violations will result in an infraction. Obviously, the first one's always a warning, hey, please, this is not allowed. And as it continues, obviously escalate enforcement. As part of the enforcement process, the city will install clear and visible signage in all affected park areas to notify the public of the restriction. And we've sort of started that already, informing them that they're not allowed to be going quickly around the park. When we've had events, we tell like, hey, please don't do that. You're going to hurt somebody. Many people understand, and many people don't realize that they're actually posing a hazard to others. So our first step is always education. So with that said, we ask the council to introduce and approve the ordinance before you. It's very simple, very straightforward. This is simply in bicycles in parks, but it's my understanding that ICTC is also working on something a little bit more regional. For
Mhm.
us, this is an immediate need because we want to stop individuals from doing that, because also they just cause a lot of damage. So that's another big issue for us. And the second part of it is to approve the first reading and authorize the city clerk to place this on the next agenda for second reading. So if you have any questions, we did route this to law enforcement as well, to legal, just to ensure that it had been vetted by all of our stakeholders.
Yes, thank you. I sit on the ICTC, and we are working on something as far as Imperial Valley wide, as far as, so we'll all be on the same page as far as delivering information and having stuff to conduct as a city. So this is very nice. Thank you, because there has been a lot of complaints with people in the park, and you mentioned the headphones, and somebody just addressed me with that yesterday. I had my headphones on, almost got ran over, and I was like, sorry, so it's like, so I understand. Thank you. Appreciate that. Council?
So, Madam Mayor,
Yes.
just for clarification, so ICTC is working on rules and regs for e-bikes versus motorcycles, and rules on the street, rules on other things. This is what Adriana is bringing to us is simply parks. That's
Yes,
what I'm
that is
gathering?
correct.
yes.
And ICTC is going to cover all the other
Yes,
grounds, all the other
and we're
rules.
going to touch bases throughout the whole Imperial Valley in our meeting of who has what, and then it will go, the city managers, we will sit down. So they have a committee, and Martha Seen and there's another lady and that sits in our committee. They're on the committee for the e-bikes. So they're working on that part. So it's just barely getting off of the ground, but we are moving.
Thank you. 'Cause there's a lot
Yes.
of confusion about the difference between motorcycles,
Yes, so
e-bikes,
that's the whole
and
point.
legality on streets,
So hopefully-
sidewalks, parks. So this is simply for parks that we're
Yes,
talking
this
about
is just
tonight.
for parks. So
And more to
hopefully
come.
we'll have an understanding soon for the whole Imperial Valley.
Yes.
Of how regulations should
Thank you.
go. Yes. Anybody else, council? No?
Well, I assume that we don't allow Teslas in our park.
No, we don't.
It's pretty much a no-brainer that we always play catch-up. There'll be a new invention, something will come up, and then we have to, as a community, come together and try to wrap our head around it. This is really a no-brainer. parks were designed for one thing. These are motorized vehicles, be it electric, but still motorized vehicles with very high excessive speeds. So full support.
Thank you, thank you. With that being said, do I have a first and a second for the introduction and the approval of the ordinance number 25-08?
So I move that we accept the recommendation.
And I will second.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, thank you. Now we are going to move on to number 8, the appointment of the City of El Centro Police Chief. This item is an agreement for the Chief of Police. State law requires that the city disclosure its compensation and fringe benefits at the open meeting. The salary for this position start at $14,534 per month, and he will receive $200,000 in life insurance and a vehicle. Otherwise, his benefits are the same as those for all of other management employees. This will be presented to us by Ms. Dulce.
Thank you. Hello, Madam Mayor and council members. So here before you is a resolution appointing a new police chief and establishing the compensation and employment terms for the position of police chief for November 4th, 2025 through November 31st, 2025. Over the past 3 years as deputy chief and most recently during his tenure as acting chief, Kelly Brown has demonstrated a deep commitment to organizational excellence, innovation, and community partnership. During his leadership, Chief Brown has guided the department through several key advancements, including expanding our social media presence to better connect with the public, implementing technological improvements such as the key tracer system. Don't ask me what that is. You can ask him right now. And advocating for the addition of a full-time human resources position dedicated to fire and police recruitment. His well-known motto, "Find Your Eyes," reflects the leadership philosophy, one centered on collaboration, problem-solving, and empowering our personnel to deliver exceptional service. Chief Brown brings more than 20 years of law enforcement experience, including prior service as the Chief of Police for the City of Brawley. His return to this role demonstrates not only his steadfast commitment to our city, but also the trust and confidence placed on his leadership. With his proven leadership experience and unwavering dedication to this community, Chief Brown is well positioned to guide the El Centro Police Department into its next chapter of excellence and service. So to conclude, we are recommending the adoption of the resolution of the City Council of the City of El Centro establishing the compensation and employment terms for the position of police chief.
Thank you. May I have a first and a second to adopt resolution number 25-75?
So I motion to approve the appointment of a new police chief.
I
Second.
A second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will be inviting him over.
Chief Brown?
Well, good evening, Madam Mayor, council, staff, and those in attendance tonight. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. Thank you for having the trust in my ability to lead such an amazing group of dedicated professionals. I am honored. I am truly honored and blessed to be here before you today, and that's not lost on me. So again, I can't thank you enough. For those of you who were on the council back in 2023, when I came before you, when my contract as the deputy chief was ratified, one of the things I gave was my commitment. My commitment was to leverage technology and leverage that for a better community, for a better police department. And we have an amazing group of professionals, as I told you, and we have really hit that mark. As you on the council well know, we have implemented our Axon technologies. We're in the process of implementing a new CAD RMS system, which will better enhance user ability for our staff. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is our social media, our community outreach. We've really stepped up our opportunity to reach out to the community through our events like Coffee with a Cop, but also social media. And I am truly impressed with the staff and what they've been able to put together. And so, again, I will say thank you, but I would be remiss if I walked away without recognizing a few people. So as many people, I have some mentors in my life and have mentors that have been very key in my growth and to get me where I am today. And so if you'll indulge me, two of those, I'm in a unique position because two of those are sitting on the dais tonight. And our former and retired police chief, Mike Crankshaw, now council member, was the one who promoted me from a sergeant to a commander and really exposed me to command staff and what it meant to take it to the next level. So I can't thank you enough, sir. I truly appreciate your guidance, your mentorship. And then, of course, our recently retired chief of police and now city manager, Robert Sawyer. Again, I couldn't think of two better people to be mentors in my life. And Chief Sawyer has really taken it to the next step. And I credit him with bringing me back to the Imperial County because, as many of you know, I left Imperial County in 2019 to pursue a career with the Chula Vista Police Department. And although that was a phenomenal experience, I'm blessed to have the opportunity to come back and serve the citizens of El Centro. So again, thank you so much. One last thing, I have to absolutely talk about the support. Anybody in public safety or public service understands the support that is necessary to be successful in this line of work. And that support comes from the family unit, right? And so I'm blessed to have my mom who came in to be here today from San Diego.
Wow.
So, and the rest of my family. I couldn't be here without their support as well. So again, thank you so much for your support. I absolutely commit to you to do the very best job that I can to ensure that we continue to provide the very best police services for the community of El Centro. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chief, I'm sure there's several of us that want to make some comments before you walk away. sir.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We're about to make comments, but I wanted to wait until everybody stopped clapping. I was gonna call you back up. I just want to say, you and I have had plenty of conversations. You are phenomenal. Thank you for what you do. And there's no doubt in my mind that the El Centro Police Department is in good hands. Appreciate you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Anybody else? You like something to say? Councilmember
No,
Marroquin?
I would just like to say congratulations, Chief Brown. You know, this is like, I've been here since you've been here and up on the dais. And I do have to say that, you know, not only have you been a great support to former Chief Sawyer, you know, but now you've taken the helm. And I'm sure that you're going to have great support from all of the officers that are standing in the chambers this evening. And, you know, we just will watch you grow and prosper in this leadership role, and looking forward to see what comes in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Camarena?
Just congratulations, and no doubt in my mind, like it's been said, that you're going to be able to just take this department and what we vision to be growth, and we can't wait to grow with you, make sure that our services continue and that our staff also continues to bring us to these into numbers that would be more successful for our city.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Councilmember Crankshaw?
Yeah, I really have nothing to say to this guy. Definitely saw qualities in you when I was working with you. I had an opportunity and certainly envisioned someday that you would be able to achieve what you're achieving. And now it's time to put it forward. Remember servant leadership, which is always something that we strive for. I would give you this, that you lead from the boots of a chief, but you work from the boots of an officer. So, and I know you will, and we're super proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes, very good.
Yes, I
Mayor
would.
Pro Tem Elliott.
Thank you. I'm just so very proud of our police department and the influence that others have had. I'm thinking of Michael going way back and Robert more recently, and now you, Chief Brown. Doesn't that sound good?
That sounds real
Oh,
good,
my goodness.
yeah.
And your officers, your department, I just feel so thankful, so blessed that we are in such, I feel like we're such good hands. We're very thankful for the way this has turned out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And I know that our city manager, Robert Sawyer, has just a few words he would like to say too.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations to you and your family. I will tell you, I sat up here a couple weeks ago and I was appointed as a city manager, a very proud moment in my life. But I would not have ever accepted it. And I talked about the department heads last week, but now you're officially a department head. I could not have been able to be successful in the role of an acting city manager had it not been for you and your staff. Being able to walk away from the police department and really not look back, knowing that it's in good hands, is a testament of true leadership. Not just to you, Kelly, but to Renee and Aaron and James, and now our newest lieutenant back there, Damien, and the rest of the men and women in law enforcement. I was able to walk away and step into the acting role, struggle through that for a while, but not look back towards the police department because they were in very capable hands. And that is truly a testament to you, your leadership, and your approach to things, and the team that you have built along the way. So moving forward, I just ask that you keep in mind where you came from. As Councilmember Crankshaw mentioned, we're here for the public and we work for the public every single day. You've shown that, you've been a testament of that. Thank you for honoring us with your service. Thank you for being the man of integrity that you are. And more importantly, thank you for being my friend. Godspeed and God bless you in your future. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have clinics. I see the water you're pushing back, it's okay, trust me, because I feel this, this is a lot of love up here.
I just realized that he was one of my sergeants as well. So
Oh, wow.
I don't know what's going on here. So.
We still made it.
You still made it, huh? You got him back, huh?
I made it. I got it.
Oh, the
I
comment.
can't thank you enough. I'm truly honored. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Are we taking a picture with Chief Brown?
Oh, we should take a picture. Is Emilio's not here. Mario, would you do the honors, please? Appreciate it.
Chief Brown, if we can take a
Get a
photo.
picture with you.
Start clapping after you. Do we need to move? Why don't you go get the picture?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, call him up.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Elliott, you can take a small step to your left.
Who, me?
Right there, perfect. We're not talking.
I have one that says retired.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Don't move. Ready? Shoot.
Thank you. And we would like to call our district attorney, George Marcus, to come up and take a picture, please. Thank you for coming out tonight.
I've been known to break down.
Well, Mario. You get us all in there?
Councilmember Camarena, can you take a small step back, right? Perfect. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
push this to the side.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Marty. Okay, we will move right along. We are going to the award of bid and authorizing a contract for the Eddie White Complex Fraser Field Parking Lot Project. This will be presented by Miss Adriana. I knew why they were exiting. It would take you a minute to get set up, so it's just perfect timing right here. So
Yes.
just use our little perfect timing.
Sometimes the agenda order is a little funny.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes. So hello, Honorable Mayor, here we are again. This is an item that has come before you a few times. This is the parking lot project. We awarded a couple of months back the park amenities within the site, and this is still within the property, but it's to the north of it. So I'll start a little bit. You've seen this slide before. This park is home to District 22 Little League. And we awarded a bid back in September to Shipley Construction to add the interior walkways, new scoreboards for fields 1 and 2. And then also, I want to thank Councilmember Camarena because I remember you pointing out a couple of things that were awkward with the scoreboards. And so we made those corrections.
Oh, thank you.
It looked a little bit piecemealed. I will say that. Those are the kind words. And I think it's because they did it in phases. And so this phase, I think, is going to be able to clean up the facility and things will look more consistent. And then also the September project included the removal and the replacement of 8 dugouts. Many of those dugouts are just, they've seen their lifespan and they're just at the end. And then we're also going to be adding some backstops, and it's 18-foot high backstops, which is great for crowd safety.
Yes.
Right now, if you're not on alert, yeah, you got to be on alert. No sunflower seed time. As it relates to the scope of work, it's 57 spaces. Your staff report indicated 59, but when we added the ADA spaces, it reduced it by 2 due to the needed 10-foot clearance. And so I just want to add that. And then it includes various walkways that will connect the parking lot facility to the fields. We also included in this scope that will be paid through enterprise funds. It's upsizing a 1-inch to a 4-inch water line, and that will improve water pressure in that area because there are various residences to the north. Additionally, we are going to improve the approaches to provide better access to the residents. You may recall that this area has a couple of landlocked properties, so we're going to improve those approaches, and it'll be a lot better for them when it rains at that location. Right now, it's pretty much all dirt, so when it rains, it's a bit of a mess. And also the bioswale. I mean, it's not the most glamorous thing, but it's a much needed amenity so that when it rains, the water collects there and then is able to drain. And that's pretty much it as it relates to the project scope. The bid results were as follows. We did get quite a few bids, and our lowest bidder was Pyramid Construction at $362,403. Farmers Land Leveling at $455,775.47. Radco at $494,296. And then Venture Construction at $510,595. The lowest and most responsive bidder was Pyramid Construction, and staff is recommending the award of the project to Pyramid and also establishing a construction contingency in the amount of $37,000. The next slide is the fiscal impact. You may recall last time that I was here, I informed you that we received a grant in 2024, but we had applied for it in 2021, and we've all seen the rise in costs. So actually, we were expecting a much greater cost. So for us, we do have a shortfall, but it's minimal in comparison to what we had foreseen. Staff recommends that the funding shortfall of $57,391.85, typo there, be covered through Measure P or the general fund to fully fund the project. And so that's the next slide, is to provide direction to staff as to what funding source you would like to use to cover the shortfall, and then also to award the bid to the lowest and most responsive bidder, which was Pyramid Construction, and the establishment of the $37,000 contingency. Any questions or comments?
Council, do you have a question?
Just on, when this resolution is passed or when it's moved forward, maybe I missed it. What was the expected completion date of that?
The project, so I would say probably by the end of the year. No, I'm lying, not by the end of the year. Typically like 6 months, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. I foresee.
End of the fiscal year.
End of the fiscal
Yes,
year.
yes, that sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Betsy's been around long enough to know. Well, and I want you guys to know the process. So once we award, right? We let Pyramid know, then they have to provide all their insurances, city clerk, city attorney, review all the insurance. Sometimes they don't meet some of the criteria and we have to tell them, hey, you need to get more insurance, which is something that actually happened. And then by that point, once everything's reviewed, we issue the notice to proceed. And then the contractor has to mobilize. So they have to get their work crew in order, order materials. So it's a process. For us, like, why can't it just happen like yesterday? Well, the process that we follow, and it's also just to protect the city. So it's there for a reason. Any
No, I
questions?
was just thinking it's going to coincide with the spring ball, so.
Yes, well, yes, and we're also coordinating with Little League on this. Yes,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Thank you. So first you want us to decide what funding source to use?
Yes, I know that Measure P has about, and Liz can correct me, about 6 million in the fund, but council does have the ability to choose whatever other funding source, general fund. We're here for direction today, and if you guys have questions regarding the funding, we can speak to Liz on that.
Yes, if Liz could let us know which pot is bigger to pull out of. Come on up, girl. Thank you.
Well, yes, annually for the fiscal year, we have an estimate and a forecast for $8 million to receive a Measure P. We have appropriated already like around $6 million. So we have left $2 million. There is our fund balance that we can just reach out from there. Yeah. I mean, there's money if that's your desire to use Measure P.
And this is actually acceptable expenditure on point with Major P's design, correct?
Yes,
So-
correct.
Yeah.
Infrastructure.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? You have comments?
I just feel very comfortable myself using Measure P
Measure
funds
P.
for a project like this myself. That's just, I think a great use of the money.
Yes.
And that is what I was going to also suggest or recommend, because after all, Measure P was designed for projects such as this.
Such as this. Okay.
And note that if we do use that funding, we do include a project identification sign that illustrates the funding sources. So we will
great.
include that this is Air Pollution Control District funds as well as Measure P. We do have a Measure P logo that we use. And so please know that we will be providing full credit so that the voters and the people who go to this facility realize this is what their dollars are being used for.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Now, council may have a first and a second to adopt resolution number 25 through 76.
I will motion to adopt this resolution.
Now, second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we will move on to the amending resolution number 21-82, establishing norms and procedures and orders for the business for the city council. And this will be presented by Robert Sawyer.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of council. What you have before you in this agenda item is really a reconciling of city ordinances with the council's norms and procedures, which are guidelines for council business activities. As we've discussed previously, we were looking to realign and reestablish some of our norms and procedures to modernize some of the business practices with travel and credit card expenses and things of that nature. This particular one speaks to the ability to call a meeting. So the city ordinance allows for 3 or more council members to come together and request a meeting to be held outside of the approval or with the approval of the city manager and with the mayor. Normally, council meetings are called by the mayor or the city manager at their request. This does allow a mechanism for council to call one outside of the mayor or the city manager's consensus. And it isn't aligned with an existing policy that's in place today.
Questions? Concerns?
So this is just for agenda items,
Just for agenda items, correct?
just to be able to place agenda items.
It's not a suggestion of how anyone will vote on it. It is the ability to put an agenda item before the
Okay.
body. And the reason we picked 3 is because I'm not seeing this would happen here. The alternative to this would be that someone who felt strongly would have to get 2 other votes and call a special meeting, which would be a lot of work when you could just put it on the agenda.
Agreed.
Yes, this is specific to agenda items, and we anticipate we'll be back as we work through policy updates and procedures to come back with some additional changes. That is the sole change today.
That sounds good.
So my question, so 3 council members to call a meeting.
To have a item placed on the agenda, yes.
Okay.
It's
I
also the
misunderstood
same
that.
number to call a special meeting.
Yes, okay, three members, council members to call a special meeting,
Yes, outside of the mayor or the city manager.
and then 3 council members to add an agenda item.
Right.
Those 2 items. Thank you.
May I ask a question? So if, well, 3 then constitutes a majority vote. However, if the city manager is not in agreement with the item that wants to be placed on the agenda, this would supersede the city manager's.
Correct.
Right.
That's what, as the ordinance reads today, we're just adopting what's in the ordinance within the norms and procedures to marry the 2 documents up. But yes, correct. Normally, the way an agenda would be brought forward would be through the city manager's recommendation and approval with the mayor. In the event that this is a item that council feels strongly about and they don't have consensus from the city manager or the mayor, this allows the remainder of the council to move forward and bring an item to the agenda for vote and for discussion.
And this has been done by other cities, correct? There's other avenues that other cities utilize.
Correct. And again, this exists in an ordinance. We're just bringing it and matching the ordinance to the norms and procedures currently.
It exists in the Brown Act.
Oh.
The three members who can call a meeting exist in section 54956 of the Brown Act, not of any city ordinance.
Oh.
That's the reason, after some discussion, that we picked 3 as opposed to 2 on the theory that if the 3 of them felt strongly enough about putting it on the agenda, not voting on it, their alternative would be to call a special meeting. Am I not making, from your face, I gather I'm
Well,
not
you know,
making
what
sense.
I'm confused about is that based on what I read, this had to do with placing an item on the agenda. Okay, not about calling a special meeting.
This is about placing an item on the agenda. I was using the analogy to the Brown Act. That's where the 3 came from, as opposed to 2. Try again, okay?
Yeah,
But
no,
this is-
no, because you know what, well,
No, it's
okay.
okay. I'm sure I'm not. So
I'm thinking that placing an item on the agenda is one aspect of it.
yes,
Calling a special meeting is
it's
another
completely
aspect.
separate.
Okay,
Okay.
and so that's where
Okay.
I'm confused, because based on what I'm reading here,
This is
the
only about
request
the
was
agenda.
for 3 council members to place an item on the agenda.
Correct.
Okay,
I'm explaining why 3 council members was chosen. It's not part of this.
and is it because 3
Policy.
council members constitute a majority?
It's because 3 council members under the Brown Act could call a special meeting.
Because they are the majority.
Yes.
Yes. But I want to be clear, it's not to vote on the item, it's to place it on the agenda for discussion and a vote of the entire council.
And just confirming that currently on our norms and procedures, this is how it's set.
No,
No.
this overrides.
We're
the mayor.
overriding
The
that.
intention here is to override the mayor. I mean, it's to override the manager, sorry, not the mayor, override the city manager. The mayor, and it frankly would override the mayor as well.
Yeah, it overrides
But-
both of them.
Yeah. But the override for the mayor already is in there. It is presented to you as a policy item. It's legal, but you have to decide if you want it as policy.
Okay, council, so now this is up for discussion before we ask for a first and a second. Any thoughts?
Well, I could, Sylvia, just share with you the reason, I had been speaking on this since February of this year. Obviously, city manager, Sawyer wasn't here, but there were some very important issues that were willfully being, ignored and not having the opportunity to bring things up, before, on the dais to be reviewed and or looked at. And because of that, those incidents, which went on about 3 months, I started reviewing other cities and seeing that other cities have an option where it's not this one, it's not the 3. This one gives more control than having one individual say they need to have something on. And so I think that as council and as being researched in other areas, that this isn't going to be something that's going to be rogue, because you still have to have people, 3 people to put it on. But an opportunity should be given to people when there are instances that are affecting other individuals and you're not allowed to address them. And those things could put a city in liability when at that point a manager or individual refused to address it. That's the only thing. So as far as this being something that's going to be utilized, it's just an avenue. It's not going to be utilized frequently, because that would it would only be, in my opinion, an emergency, something that's going to affect the city.
Then I think we need to put that in there. In case of an emergency, then this. Or because then that just opens doors to abuse it if that's the.
Well, I mean, you'd have to have 3 people with you all the time that agree with what you're doing. I mean, that's not going to be easy to just be able to get 3 people to say, add this to the agenda. It has to be something that's dire. I don't also want to, it's just an opportunity to present it, but I want it known that there have been instances, more than one, when as a council member, and you're aware, Mayor Carter.
Yes, yes, I am.
That I was not allowed for months to put items on that had a negative
You are correct.
connotation to them.
You are correct.
So just again, as background, it's according to the Brown Act, 3 council members can call a special meeting. So, and with keeping with that 3 council members ought to be able to place something on the agenda.
Yeah,
Is the
a
reason.
non-voting, yes. Yes. Betsy said you wouldn't be able to vote, right? But you could place it.
You can vote as you choose, but we want to make a distinction between placing it on the agenda and voting outside of a
Yes.
meeting.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry, that's my confusion.
That's why I chose using that section of the Brown Act as the guide for the
example,
3, as
gotcha.
the support for the 3.
Okay.
But this isn't an ordinance.
Okay.
This is a norm and procedure. It doesn't change Article 2 regarding the city manager's responsibilities. It goes along with the agenda provisions of the norms and procedures, which at present give the city manager, under your form of government, control over items on the agenda.
Thank you. Appreciate
And I just
it.
want to say again, this has nothing to do with City Manager Sawyer or anything. It's just something
Claudia's
that,
been talking about this for a really long
Yeah,
Yes.
time.
I remember.
it's just that
Mhm.
this is the time that it's finally been brought on.
Brought up.
And so it's just to be able to have it there in the event that there was another situation that occurred, like what occurred.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all. So now may I have a first and a second to adopt resolution number 25 through 77? Dash 77?
I move that we adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
Motion passes 4 with 1 no.
Thank you. Okay. Now we move on to the discussion of the acting regarding the two appointments to the Planning Commission Board. We have two vacancies and we have two people who put their names in the hat, and that's Sergio Lopez and Armando Munoz. And it really doesn't need discussion because it's two vacancies and we have two people. So could we have we do need to vote on this, Madam City Clerk?
Yes,
May I
ma'am.
have a first and a second to add them to the appointment to the Planning Commission Board, please?
I'll move to appoint to approve both candidates.
A second.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Now we will move on to our task force reports. And we will start with Councilmember Crankshaw.
I'm healthy again, so
Okay,
that's about as much as I got.
I know that's right.
But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We will go to Councilmember Maraki.
Let's see. So I have to say that this year's trunk or treat was probably the best one yet.
Mhm.
Despite the fact that
lights
the
were out.
lights went out, and I thought, and when I got there, I thought that the lights were not on to set the ambiance for the festivities, but then I soon learned that we were having difficulties with the lights. But you know what? It was a huge success. People were there were just people everywhere, and everyone enjoyed. And I also gave kudos to the Aquatic Center, to Angel at the Aquatic Center for their hayride. I thought that was pretty creative. It was a lot of fun. And I just can't, the costume catwalk and the inflatable costume contest dance off, that was, I had such a good time. My mom did too. This is like, I just have to commend all of you for such a fun event, and for, just making it bigger and better than ever. And, for all of the city employees that really got into, Cindy scared the heck out of me, So, I was, and then the very next morning, the first responders wall engraving ceremony, and I had, we're always honored to take part in that event, to recognize those individuals that are, whose families step forward to, dedicate, a plaque to them in honor and in memory of, their service to our community. And I know that personally, I had a couple of people there that I knew whose name is now up on the first responders wall. And again, great job with the engraving of the name on the wall. That it looks really nice. So that we had our ECRMC board meeting, and I know that the merger is moving along. And maybe by about, maybe no later than June of next year, both hospitals will be merged together and you know, and then the city will now then relinquish the hospital over to the new healthcare district. And then, you know, the work of bringing on more care providers, you know, to the valley will be more appealing to those doctors that we don't have, or maybe provide the services that we currently don't have down here. And I was also at the Dia de los Muertos celebration at the OPOP. You know, thank you for such a beautiful event that, you know, is something that, you know, like Gus said, you know, it's an opportunity for us to remember and to recognize those loved ones that are no longer with us. And so, you know, great job for such a beautiful event. And then, of course, you know, trick or treat at City Hall. I was here and everybody wanted to stuff my purse with candy. It's just like, but you know, as much as I love candy, I shouldn't be eating it. But anyway, and I also wanted to share that that this afternoon I participated in the, and I mentioned that at our last meeting. I didn't think I was going to be here tonight, but luckily I made it back from San Diego in time to attend our meeting tonight. But I was invited by UCSD to be the patient advocate speaker at Oncology Design, in Innovations in Oncology Design symposium that was conducted up in San Diego for pharmaceutical companies, doctors, you know, people that professionals that are involved in research and development for cancer treatments. So, you know, I was speaking to a gentleman there that is working on bringing more oncologists, you know, to the Valley, and specifically to ECRMC. So, you know, that is a service that is much needed here because, you know, as we know, many people here cannot travel, you know, to San Diego to receive treatments. And I know that we have a shortage of oncologists here. So, you know, that was my opportunity to, you know, share my story, but also to advocate, you know, for more oncology services in the Imperial Valley. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Camarena?
Okay, attended some of the same events, except I went to the pallets and pallets food fundraiser at the food bank. That was very interesting to see our local talent and their art and the way that they were able to sell it for a good cause. There were really good pieces out there, and we had to pick one, and it was very difficult to do that. Also, I just wanted to share that we are, I know Councilmember Crankshaw has been ill, but despite that, he's been working hard on the policy and ordinance changes, and we're trying to update a lot of the things that are older and bringing them up to date. So those are things that we're working on. Another thing that we're proud to be announcing soon that we've been working hard on as a council is business incentive changes for some of our business. We want to be business friendly here in El Centro, and it's going to take work for us to do that. And we'll be announcing those incentives shortly so that businesses will be able to have some, well, incentive to come to El Centro and make their business here. And we've been walking yesterday, Monday, we walked yesterday.
Monday. Yeah,
Downtown.
yesterday.
I'm so lost because I was supposed to be at the Dodger celebration, so I'm still hurting from that. But anyway, we went to downtown and walked, and there was very good interaction with the businesses. And I know they came out and spoke to a number of people that were walking with us, and just seeing that gave them excitement that good things are coming to downtown, good things are coming for our Centro, and we are going to be more than happy to be making some announcements in the near future. Thank you.
We're excited. Mayor Pro Tem Elliott.
Yes, just most of the same. But I did go to, on Friday, the 11/24, the Brawley State of the City address. And, you know, they have their issues too. So I tip my hat to them for just trying to do the right thing, go the right direction. And then on the the same night, I came back to the trunk or treat also and saw a great deal. I mean, it was packed, even
was packed.
at closing time. It was
Mhm.
packed. So it was a great event also. Then on Saturday, the 25th, is First Responders Park engravings. This year, I believe there was 13 names that we
17.
divided, 17 names. I
17,
thought that, but it didn't
mhm.
seem too many. There was 4 of us.
There's
But
a
anyway.
lot of names.
So
yes.
instead of simply reading their names, there was provided for us a well-researched and documented tribute to their lives. And it was very.
Thank you, Mario.
It was very
Yes.
powerful. Yes, it was very powerful for everybody involved in that. That was very significant. And of course, some folks have been around long enough, like Mr. Crankshaw, to know many of them personally.
Yes.
So that really was a great event. Then again, we had our hospital meeting, the 27th, just last week. And I would still want to say that the hospital still needs at least 20, maybe 30 nurses and other ancillary staff. And this is a great time to get on with the hospital. It would be very helpful for them to be able to be fully staffed, open up more beds, do more, coding, billing, and reimbursement. So it's very important. So we really want to support the hospital in moving along the path to, transfer. And then there was another swear-in ceremony, the 28th, Tuesday the 28th, and so there was 4 temps, again, converted to permanent. That is a big deal. 4 of them there, and a big deal. And then a new dispatch employee for the fire department. So, I'm sorry, the police department. So does that fill all the gaps, or is there still a?
Oh, no, we
gap?
have more to come
Yeah.
Okay,
very soon.
well, that's great. So those are out and working now. So that's a good, again, that's a big win that we got another dispatch person in place, training now. That's really great. And then Sonia and I can comment about this as well. Their ID 2-on-2 meeting was a very profitable time. We have a lot to talk about. We've actually invited them here to give a little presentation to us and everyone watching online about rate increases, improvement, their infrastructure, that they have some very big plans. So instead of us trying to explain that for them, they're invited to explain this to our city as well. And I think that's going to be a very profitable time. And then, of course, the IV Food Bank pallet, where Mayor Carter and Councilmember Camarena got very familiar with one of the artists and, connected with her. So it was a great event also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I attended a lot of those events as well. I just want to always give a shout out to our phenomenal staff. The events, I mean, the trunk or treat, I'm still hearing about that. I mean, the lights going off was just a winner. It was just a win. I'm telling you, everybody is just like, next year, have it with the lights off. Make sure you tell them to have the lights off next year. So I'm just passing on the word, so it was a very nice event. A lot of people came out. I mean, we attended a lot of events, but I did say that I want to stick to my word that I was going to give a presentation about my Cal City trip. And as I was reading through my notes, I was like, wow, so much information. What do I actually want to talk about? I attended, you attend this one, you attend this one. So we switched off a lot of the council members where they attended different presentations that were going on that day, but we stayed there all day listening to what was going on with other people. But one that caught my attention was the strengthening local governance through trust, fundamental and effective partnership. And this had a lot to do with the decision making. And they did a little skit at the beginning, and it made you realize that we're not alone here. That a lot of people, they want to gain that trust with the people. They go to a lot of events, and they did a skit where everything was fine and wonderful. One person just took it like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll come to your events and I'll do this. And then they tried talking to another person, and that person gave them the cold shoulder. They just kept talking to him and talking to him. The person wasn't listening. Coming to find out, the person pulled out his headphones and said, "Are you talking to me?" So, I mean, you think that somebody's really not paying attention, and we get frustrated because we think, oh, okay, you have to go to this person because you're on the decision making. You want to make things, you want to have the trust of the community, and you don't want to be rude to people. And this person just kept on and on and on without being rude. Yeah, please come out, giving another flyer, just explaining. He wasn't paying no attention to him at all. And then coming to find out is because he had headphones on. He just was not, he was in his own little world, his own little zone. So that right there meant a lot to me, because you can't sit up here and you can't judge people by thinking, oh, they're not paying attention. And especially with working with kids, because you have to learn how to multitask. They could be doing this and doing that, but they're still paying attention to what you're saying. So always remember that somebody is paying attention to what you're saying. Always remember that. So that's the one I wanted to touch bases on for what I learned from Cal City. Although we learned a lot of information, it was a phenomenal event. And look forward to more information, because this helps us grow, so that way we can come back and share it with you, and we can push forward and what we need to do as a city council. So I appreciate the Cal City for putting on those events. So I will move on to my mayor's mentions. The Rockstar, the Wreck on Wheels, the Magic Leaf. The next stop for the Rockstar Wreck on Wheels in the Magic Leaf happens Saturday, November 8th from 8 to 9:30 a.m. at McGee Park. This high-energy mobile recreation program brings excitement straight to neighborhoods, parks with free themed activities, games, crafts for the whole family. Look on your social media page for more information. And also, we're going to have the Veterans Day ceremony. The city of El Centro is collaborating with the VFW Post 9305, invites the community to our annual Veterans Day ceremony on Tuesday, November 11th at 11 o'clock a.m. at the Veterans Memorial Wall at Buckland Park. The ceremony honors the courage and sacrifice and dedication of the men and women who have served in the United States Armed Force. We encourage everyone to attend and take part in this meaningful tribute to our veterans and their families. Look on your social media page for more information. The 6 of May market days, Bill did he touched on this. So the city of El Centro is launching a new event series, 6 of May market days, beginning Thursday, November 13th from 6 to 9 p.m. in downtown El Centro. The community is invited to stroll through our historic downtown, meet local vendors, and explore a variety of products, crafts, and service. This new monthly service celebrates local businesses and community spirit right in the heart of our city. Look on your social media page for more information. Last but not least, we will have our Slam Fest 2025. Get ready for the Slam Fest 2025 on November 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Brent Driscoll Sidewinder Skate Park, 650 Park Avenue. This high-energy event features BMX and skate competitions, lawn games, and art walk, a kid zone, and live music from a DJ Jet and DJ J. Registration opens at noon and is open to all ages. Once again, you can look on your social media page and you can find more information. Now I will turn it over to our city manager.
So we have about 15 minutes, right? I'm teasing. A lot of great events, trunk or treat. I will tell you, Adriana called me. She says the lights just went out. And there's a little bit of panic in her voice. And I got to the event, and man, what a great and phenomenal event it was. I too vote for the lights out with light towers for next year, so nobody trips or anything like that. But what a well-attended, fun event. Short of my allergies kicking in, it was just phenomenal. I know that Councilmember Marikina had a good time out there with her mother. I ran into her. I got to watch the Gus on the catwalk with the little kids with Rebecca and all that. Not Gus on the catwalk. He's calling out the kids and everything else. Just phenomenal and really well done. Cindy did scare me as well. She did not break character. Her makeup and costume was amazing.
Oh yeah, she did a good
Javier's
job.
from Parks and Rec. And then we've had recently, thanks to staff, trick or treat at City Hall. was a success. I know next year we will have all of our departments joining us for that. We had a phenomenal event at the library with a costume contest that was judged by a few of you as well.
Yes.
So just some amazing things that are happening. The wall engraving, I will tell you that, so I was hired as a volunteer by Chief Carter. I'm sorry, by Chief Cordova. I was hired full-time by Chief Carter. So Harold Carter's wife came over and spoke with me at the wall engraving. What a phenomenal lady, and really what they've all done for her and her husband did for our community is just amazing. So touching base with people like that, of that caliber, really touches the heart. Let's see here, a couple shout outs, Parks and Recs. I did a walkthrough over at the Buena Vista Park with Adriana and her staff. We were visited by the state today as a grant completion checkoff list, kind of walking the park. I think she actually physically walked the park and counted almost 100 plants and trees. Is that right? It was, that's amazing. And I think the only thing that we're missing is just some letters that spell out the word park for our signage out front. They've been ordered, they're on back order. They'll be up very soon, but really well received from the state. And Adriana and her group of people did a phenomenal job. Not only that, but while we're there, it was warm today.
Yeah.
Several people out there walking around the walking path and everything, taking advantage of it. And if you go by at night, it's just, it's a tremendous amount of people out there. So great to have those parks in our city. I also want to give Liz and Finance a shout out. The single audit report is completed.
Yay.
We are on track. We were found to be within all government auditing standards. So what a positive move. Not that we had any concerns about that, but it's an accomplishment nonetheless that Finance and the entire team there carried out with Miguel and Andy's help and everybody. So please thank all of your staff, Liz, for bringing us to that point. Two last things. State of the City, November 20th. Invitations have gone out. Mario's been working on that along with Cindy and staff. So we're looking forward to that event, Madam Mayor. And then the last thing that really bears mentioning is the Bell game. So I will tell you, I live in Imperial. My son plays for the Tigers. We had a little bit of a disappointing night, but I had both the Tiger game and the Central game up. And while the Tigers may have let me down that night, the Spartans did not.
Yes.
So the Bell, as of today, is officially back in El Centro. We will ring it proudly. I'm sure it'll be in the parade. For those of the school district, if you're listening, we would love to be a part of those events. Please reach out to us and include us. We have a tremendous amount of respect for our students and our student athletes in the city of El Centro. And with that, I'll
Agreed.
conclude. I only
Thank
took
you.
4 minutes. That's about 3 minutes longer than I wanted to, but I had a lot to say because we have a phenomenal work from staff and a lot of good things going on in our community. So thank you very much.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And with that being said, this meeting is adjourned.
I'm gonna lose.